Imagine this. It's summer break and you're watching your favorite Cartoon Network show late into the night. It's definitely past your bedtime. Whether it's a rerun or not, you'll watch it anyways. You make sure to keep quiet and still as possible, hoping your parents won't hear you from the other room. And who knows when you'd be able to stay up this late again. So you watch through the episode, frozen still on the couch. You're half paying attention, half fighting the thought of, what if I get caught? After enough mental reinforcement, you stop caring. And then just watch. No more anxiety, no more what ifs, but suddenly, you reach the end of the episode. And then... a rush of disappointment comes over you. It's time to go to bed, you think. But something in you is lingering. A thought keeps you staying there, keeps you watching, even after the bumper. And after a while, a show comes on that you've never seen before, and probably were never supposed to see in the first place. This is the adult channel, and you're watching an adult show. Still, your resolve carries you, and you march forward into the night. There's no school tomorrow, it's summer break. You're gonna pull an all-nighter, and it's gonna be glorious. Robot Chicken, Xavier Renegade Angel, Aqua Teen Hunger Force were just some of the shows that played throughout the night. Or, in the morning I should say, as it was 2 a.m., and you never noticed. Paranoia slowly yet steadily creeped in. Episode after episode, it got worse and worse. Finally, an episode that you're watching ends, and the TV goes black. You're all by yourself, alone in the dark. A bunch of kids ratted themselves out because they had to sleep in their parents' room after that. Probably with soaked pants. Oh yeah. For those of you that don't know, this image is a notoriously known Adult Swim bumper that used to run from 2005 to 2010. It mostly played after the goodnight message from the previous block, which happened to be Cartoon Network at the time, or at 6 a.m. after the Adult Swim block finished. For those who found out about this bumper the hard way, I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. This bumper served as an effective tool in scaring kids away from the Adult Swim's plethora of adult-style shows. These shows were chock full of dark humor, inappropriate visuals, and raunchy language. Being notorious for scaring many children, including myself, many wonder where the creepy graphics or unsettling music originated from. Surprisingly, nobody to this day has ever come forward with credit towards the bumper. So who's behind this haunting bumper that so many people remember vividly? Two follow-up questions arise. 1, who made the visuals? And 2, where does the music originate from? I looked for hours for any sign of one person who could possibly be behind this bumper. I went through an endless sea of posts, which unfortunately led nowhere when it comes to figuring out who deserves credit for this bumper as a whole. However, I was able to do some digging and uncover some answers about where the bumper's music and visuals originated from. Conversations that discussed who could have made the graphics for this bumper were all confused. That was until about a year ago, where on Reddit, a post was made on r/media by this user. They said, quote, I saw it pointed out on the bump's page on the Adult Swim wiki that the landscape, including the field, flowers, and trees in the bumpers had appeared decades earlier on the cover of 2 separate music releases a year apart in the Netherlands in the early 80s. Sorry in advance for butchering, but Rise Out Is On, a single by The Pirate Boys, a single made by the Pirate Boys from 1981, and Droomwaltz, a single made by the Benjamins from 1982. After looking at both of these graphics, it checks out and solves where the background came from. Both these albums have the nearly identical graphic, only being split apart by color. This checks out and solves where the backgrounds came from. The trees, rolling hills, and flowers are all there. However, the creepy eyes do not appear anywhere across any of these albums, and after doing some more digging, nothing came up. So, the 2 most plausible theories is that A, it's either another obscure 80s graphic, or B, it's an inside joke or small art project from Adult Swim thrown in to add some creepy flair to the bumper. I believe this is another independent artwork that was pasted over the album cover. It could be another album, but I think it's just another obscure graphic. It's important to remember that the company making these is Adult Swim, and this company is notorious for inside jokes. Most of these inside jokes are random obscure references brought up by the internet. Well, that solves the mystery of the graphics, but what about the music? Both of these songs from the Netherlands don't contain any of the parts that match up with the creepy melody of the bumper. It could have been a slowed down or distorted part of these songs, but it doesn't seem likely. I even played around with it a little bit, but it just didn't make sense. One of these songs is folk and country, while the other one is soft rock. They both have a pretty consistent melody, and neither of them have a creepy ambience like this. So I decided to do some more digging. After looking around for a while, I couldn't find anything. I ended up just typing "The Dawn Is Your Enemy" song on YouTube, and the song actually popped up. The snippet of audio is taken at the very beginning of the song, being the first 10 seconds. Here's a little snippet of the song.
If you only took a second out in life to realize we need each other's support in order to survive in a world like this where violence is a menace, we could do without the brothers acting like a menace. If you only took a second out.
The original song is called "Violence is a Menace" by Bola Adekimi. After hearing the song all the way through, you can no longer hear the bumper the same, nor can you hear the rap song the way it was meant to be. A link to the song is in the description below if you want to check it out. So everything checks out, but one question is still in my head. Who put this all together? Who pasted these graphics together? And who spliced up the audio? Well, it turns out, even the Adult Swim Wiki has its own entry for "The Dawn Is Your Enemy." It shows us all the general information about the bumper itself. It even mentions another new bumper called "The Dawn Is Your Frenemy." Here's a clip to that one. This one just seems to be a tip to the old bumper, giving into the old bumper's notorious nature. Let's see, I think that's about it. Whoa. The Boston bomb scare? Wait a minute. This one's just kind of a funny rabbit hole. Well, at least it's funny now. On January 31st, 2007, the Boston Police Department and the Boston Fire Department mistakenly identified battery-powered LED placards resembling the Mooninites from Aqua Teen Hunger Force as improvised explosive devices. These placards were placed originally around Boston, and their main purpose was just for advertisement. What it was advertising specifically was the Aqua Teen Hunger Force Colon movie, which was supposed to be shown in theaters. I guess they thought these little rudimentary designs were supposed to be little makeshift bombs. Here's a clip or two of the news talking about it.
Police say a passenger finds a suspicious package under I-93 by the Sullivan Square T-stop. 93 North and the Orange Line shut down for a good 2 hours. Until the bomb squad detonates a device they say looks like a circuit board but isn't explosive. It ruined people's commutes and created quite a scene.
As I was coming down the side street, I heard one of it must have been an officer or maybe one of the bomb squad people say, "Fire in the hole."
And then?
And I heard a detonation.
A few hours later and a few miles away, police detonate another suspicious package, this one under the Longfellow Bridge. Cars are kept off it and red line service between Boston and Cambridge comes to a halt.
He has photographs documenting 17 sites where the devices were planted and later found. At the tops of buildings, under bridges, at Fenway Park, all across the city. This little creature that lights up in the dark and makes an obscene gesture is on his website. It was also found over the entryway to a comic book store in Alston.
What really sold it home to people was the fact that "The Dawn Is Your Enemy" was shown right after the Boston bomb scare on Adult Swim. This ended up just creeping out a bunch of people and heightening the situation completely. I'm pretty sure this has probably led to the split between Cartoon Network and Adult Swim later on. Obviously there's other reasons, but this is definitely a main component. The internet is an interesting place full of intrigue and mystery if you look hard enough. And additionally, people across the internet have a whole lot more in common than you might think. This phenomena of a television bumper is a testament to that. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribing couldn't hurt either. I'll see you guys in the next one.